Here's Emily again. I'm here representing a reckoning vector. Today I want to go through a topic that whenever some data scientist or any engineering team member want to shop for a data annotation company, they may have these questions that they would love to ask. So to cover like a wide scope of why you have to choose a particular partner. So here I will go through some of them or most of them. So firstly, this question comes up the most. Like, how do you guys handle our data? Like, everyone's definitely concerned about their security because you all know that like data is like oil. The more you have, the better model you can train. So like if you have exclusive data, the chance of your company succeeding is a lot higher than someone who will only get access to very limited data. So data is definitely the key. And then, so how do I trust a third party to handle it? If they cannot trust someone, I'd rather just pay a higher price and hire someone in-house, right? So definitely that would be the first question that comes to almost everyone's mind. So really look into what procedures or what the measures that these annotation company are taking in place in order to make sure that all the data will not be leaked or sold to the third party or like the list goes on. Yeah. So the next question is like, what's the quality I can expect from you? As precise as like how many pixels, and then would there be any free edit? Quality is definitely a big concern. Like every single company, before they obtain the quotation, they really need to precisely communicate how much accuracy they need, how precise they need each object to be annotated. This can really affect the price, and also you don't want to be expecting something that's not like what you wanted, right? Also, if like whenever the quality is not meeting your standard, would there be a free edit? If you have to pay extra to edit those finished annotation, it would be like not fun. Also, that the next question will be, what's the timeline looking like? So what would be the penalty if the deadline would be missed? So you have to communicate very clearly. Say, I have like 10,000 images, and then this is the sample images. The sample images have to kind of represent the whole data set. Otherwise, it's really hard to estimate a good timeline from the annotation company standpoint. So if the requirement is actually precise as what we have promised, and if the annotation company will actually miss the deadline, I think they should have a penalty in it. Otherwise, why would we set a deadline, right? And then the next question that's the most people will concern, price for sure. So is it by hour or by label? This is the two most popular pricing structure. Either it's like, okay, how much is it per hour? If you're paying by hour, you really have to ask the output, right? You have to guarantee a certain percent of output instead of like, hey, like this is like say $5 per hour, which looks cheap, but then they only produce like 3 images. Then you would be like, okay, it's very expensive to average it out. By label is different, so you definitely concerned about like how much is it per box or per polygon, and then as I say, if there were free edit, those are very important. Question that you may want to ask is definitely like, how fast can you scale the annotation team? Can also this be scaled down? For example, today you decide to hire 10 people. If there's more demand, which normally happen because the companies will grow bigger, and you definitely want to know how fast we can scale the team. And like if I have say some output reduction, can this also be scaled down? That would be a good question to ask just for future references, because you want to stick with the same annotation company as long as possible, because you don't want to take the time to retrain another one, which the time cost can be pretty high. And then you want to know like how they train the annotators, because like I think doing data annotation is a big part is like transferring humans intelligence, which is mostly data scientists intelligence into the machine. So you definitely want to eliminate as like much error as possible, for example, when you transfer your knowledge to the annotator. So I think ideally you have a Google Doc or any document put in place listing all the requirement, like more hard-coded, and if they edge cases, then there will be a constant communication between the annotator and the data scientist, so to make sure the discrepancy will be minimized. And then so this whole workflow has to be discussed, and then also how to encourage feedback. The training time like depends on the capacity of the project as well, so these all have to be in place. So also one thing interesting to ask is like, where are these annotators located? It's not like really matters, but for some like communication or bias or these elements, sometimes with some country it'll be easier to figure out. Also the work style and like all the things will be affecting the quality as a whole. So this question, what is the type of annotation you do? That's pretty standard. You have to make sure that they will give you the output you want. They do the like type of annotation you're looking for. You want bounding boxes, you want polygon, you want semantic segmentation. Like, yeah, what kind of like work are you expecting to be done? Next question is if the data annotation company will have their own in-house tool. This is important too, because if you don't have one, you definitely expect like this annotation company has their own, because that will increase their productivity. And then if you have your own, probably you want someone who has some experiences using your own or using some similar product as what you're currently using, so to make sure that things are in line. Another question is, who have you worked with? Like, what other company? If the other company that they have experience with is within the same industry, then the annotator's previous knowledge can be transferred to this work, this task. So they may learn it quicker. They may have some idea. You can look at their workflow references. That would be some definite good advantages of it. Just the industrial knowledge. For example, like autonomous driving, you don't want to annotate something on like the sidewalk. Like, you know that like those sidewalks are not the cars will go on to. But for some new people, they may not know. So like you may just reduce the communication time as well. So one last question before I end this video, just what are the next steps? Should we sign NDA? Should we send some sample data for evaluation, like a free annotation? I think this is pretty common practice for data annotation company to provide free annotation, just because like you want to make sure that you guys are compatible. And like if you can send say 100 images, that's representing of your whole data set. And then the annotation company can definitely do it for free. You can track the quality. You can figure out if you want to work with them for a long term. Yeah. So these are pretty much the questions I prepared for today. And yeah, let me know if you find it helpful. And then if you are interested in learning more about data annotation solution, I will be the person to talk to. So feel free to reach out to me. Have a good day. Bye bye.